Okay, what's up everybody? Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to all the old subscribers that have hung on. Welcome if you're new. I've been gone for a little while, but I wanted to do some messages because it was a reading I was supposed to have done a little while ago, but we're just now getting to it. Never mind the angles because I'm in my room on my bed. So basically living the thug life. I have some signs, some messages for all the signs. I'll try to go back in and do timestamps. Hope everyone is doing well. We're starting with Aries. What came out for Aries was Triumph. And now we have some more. So I think for some of you guys, you're just trying to concentrate on building a foundation or like standing in your power. And I feel like there might be a situation that happened that kind of disrupted that. And there's also some like mirroring of your shadow self that's coming out, which may be something you're dealing with at this time. But I feel like it's important to just, stand in your Aries power and remember maybe how powerful you are. But at the same time, with this like soft energy that not a lot of people get to see, I think it's important to embrace both sides of yourself is basically what they're trying to say. Embracing all parts, even if it's something ugly that you haven't dealt with within yourself, even if there's certain things that cause the disruption, maybe not your normal way of thinking, not your normal way of doing things. Think things through and live life to the fullest. So whatever that means for you guys, I just feel like it's accepting everything as it is and moving forward, towards your goals. Now we're going to Taurus. Messages for Taurus. What came up for Taurus? It was victory and success, which is basically like the Six of Wands and the normal tarot, but it came up in reverse. So maybe some of you guys are feeling like things aren't going your way, or there isn't the kind of victory and success that you wanted. But I feel like there's a big transformation that you guys are going through within yourself, within like how you perceive things, how you're connecting to your intuition, your higher self, something with your throat chakra. I feel like in a way, things are coming together and falling apart at the same time. It's like there is this harmony, there is this like fruition of something good, but then there's also temptation. So I feel like it's paying attention, who you're allowing yourself to partner up with, who you're, signing contracts or going into alliances with. I feel like it's not necessarily negative energy, but there's also like, when like fire and ice come together, but it's like, so these two opposing energies coming together, which only you know how to navigate, only you know how to make that outcome come out in your favor, even if it's really overwhelming from both sides. Just because there's a lot of things you guys don't talk about. There's a lot of things that you don't want to fight with people about. You'd rather just keep the peace. But at the same time, there's a part of you that knows that you have to stand your ground. There's a part of you that knows there's certain things that need to be said. There's certain things that, you might still be waiting on, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to happen. You can do one of these for Taurus. It says wake up call. And be decisive, because there's something. Reach for the stars. There's something that is being brought to your attention that you need to make a decision about, or that may have like caused a disruption, but it was done on purpose to kind of get you to see something, whatever that may be. Gemini. Messages for Gemini. So maybe for some of you, you're like really bored. Maybe you've been staying in the house a lot. Maybe there's something you just feel like you're conflicted about. Your message was rejoice and celebration, which is basically like the Three of Cups. So it could be communication. It could be, you know, going out and having fun. It could be just realizing that, you know, if there's a part of your life that isn't going well, or it's like at a standstill, or you're bored with it, maybe it's time to either have that clarity or make that decision to kind of move on into better energy, because there are good things coming, but it's almost like you need to make that very clear about what you're doing moving forward so that new energy can come in. And for some of you, that may come with some type of heartache and loss. And maybe it's talking about that. Maybe it's embracing the change, you know, instead of kind of staying complacent. It says, tune out distractions, address your addictions, and be patient. So maybe there's something that isn't coming in the way that you want it to, or there's something in your life that has the potential of taking over in maybe a negative way. And addictions are all type of things, whether it's sugar or coffee or cigarettes or drugs or whatever it is. We all have something that we're addicted to in one way or the other. Moving on to Cancer. I'm going to be moving through these kind of quickly just because YouTube takes forever to upload now. So we're just going to do quick messages. What are the messages for Cancer? You had trapped in fear with the Eight of Swords. So maybe there's a part of you that still has some fear surrounding a situation. Maybe it's just your mentality or your mindset when it comes to certain things. I feel like it creates a blockage in your life because it's like a routine of something that you constantly think about, or there's something that keeps you kind of stuck in a certain place, and maybe you're not able to know or understand like how to move past that, or maybe you've never learned how. This could be something that even goes back to childhood. For some of you, I think that some of you are worried about money and finances, if that's going to come in for you. Some of you are having fertility issues, possibly. Maybe there's a certain partnership that you're not really sure about, if you should, you know, kind of keep your guard up or let them in, kind of thing. I think that for some of you, it's definitely the fear coming from your sacral chakra, which could just be kind of like suppressed emotions, or you know, things that haven't been healed, and whether or not you know how to do the chakra healing or not, but it's just kind of something that is suppressed, even though there's like a lot of like maybe downloads or like positive energy coming in. I just feel like it's important to embrace changes, and you know, don't keep things to yourself, because everything in life requires a balance, especially for you guys, just because it's like you can get really emotional or you can be completely detached. And I think that it's finding that balance for some of you guys so that you can grow. And I think that you are growing, but for some of you, that comes from having that communication or saying those words. You have to speak up and nurture yourself first. So maybe some of you guys are giving too much to certain things around you instead of, you know, and then keeping things to yourself instead of saying it. I think that it's not necessarily that you have your priorities wrong. I just think that maybe it's putting yourself first and what truly makes you happy, and embracing the fact that there can definitely be good things coming in, even if, you're worried about it, but I just think that having the positive outcome in your mind and focusing on that things could work out instead of the negative could work out in your favor. Moving on to Leo, you had obstacles and challenges. Some of you guys could be going through some things right now, whether it's financial, whether it's just life. You know, I think a lot of people are struggling for whatever reason. Obviously, there's a lot going on. I think that you guys have like a 10-year plan, or, you know, there's something that you need to move on from and kind of keep your guard up. Maybe it's just a plan that you have to keep to yourself, or maybe it's a mindset of being defeated and having the same conflict over and over, but moving on from that, whether it's just in your mind or like an actual physical move. I feel like you guys are being presented with a lot of options or choices at once, and it can be overwhelming to think like maybe there are negative things coming in, but there's also positive, so it can be confusing. What do you let go of? What do you move on from? Because maybe some of you guys, what would benefit you is a partnership or a collaboration with another person or entity or company, and that would benefit you in the long run, because there's something that you're not really speaking up about, something that you haven't dealt with, something that could be like an underlying factor in why everything is kind of chaotic. I don't think that you're able to come up with a solution just because maybe you're mentally like overwhelmed or overstimulated, but at the same time you guys are really able to get the things that you want because you have the passion and drive, but it doesn't come without some things that, you know, might not go the way you want it to. It's just finding the harmony through the conflict sometimes. Virgo, you had memories of love, which is basically like the Six of Cups, and in the picture for that card it was some floating candles. So maybe some of you guys should do a ritual on the water. Maybe there's someone that you're thinking of, or maybe there's a thing that you want to self-reflect on, maybe going by some water, or, you know, doing the candle thing, or whatever it might be for you guys, because some of you guys go through things on your own. There's definitely like solar plexus energy here. Things, maybe it affects your confidence, or it affects the way you're able to feel happiness or navigate through that because you're not really sure about certain things. Maybe your mind sometimes plays tricks on you when it comes to things, so you're not sure if you can trust your intuition or if you can trust your higher self, because there's definitely a loss here that some of you guys have suffered, whether it was when you were 5 years old, or maybe it was, you know, 5 years ago, or 5 years long, or whatever the case may be, but it's just something that, you know, needs to be released in a calm and healthy way, whether that's with another person or doing something on your own, because I feel like you're not really having a whole lot of like spiritual strength at this time. Maybe you feel defeated when it comes to like your own thoughts and emotions, and it's important to remember that everything's about balance, and that everything comes with changes, with financial and material changes. Maybe there's some path that you haven't thought of, or maybe it's multiple streams of income or multiple paths that you could take to get to the outcome that you desire, but I definitely would recommend you know, trusting the universe and releasing some old trapped emotions or suppressed emotions, whatever the case may be. Virgo. It says reevaluate your priorities and bust out of your cocoon, which I think some of you guys it's hard for you to do because you have a plan and you know, maybe there's something that's out of your comfort zone. It says reflect on your truth and make a plan. So I think that there again, it's spending that time in reflection, realizing there's more than one solution, and, you know, not always having a concrete plan, which I'm sure is hard to grasp because you guys are all about the plan. Libra, you had like quite a few cards come out. It came with the Truth card, which came out in reverse, and then you had Triumphant Success, which is basically the Ace of Swords, Discontent and Boredom and Throat Chakra. What I get out of it is it's basically something that you're not happy about, something you're complacent in, whether it's a job, a person, a situation, but it's important to speak your truth, or it's important to just recognize what it is about your life or your situation, and then either, you know, verbally say it to someone, either it's writing it down in a letter or an email, or, you know, just making a mental note, but not being afraid to say what it is that's truly like on your heart and mind, because, you know, you guys are really good at communication. You're really good at compartmentalizing things in your life, and there's something that you're complacent about for whatever reason. Maybe you don't want to hurt someone's feelings. Maybe you don't see like a way out of the mundane. Maybe you think this is just how things are right now, you know. Maybe it's not really sure, like having, like you guys have the wisdom, but it's like, what do you want to use it on? What do you want to devote your time and your energy in? You know, because you guys are like, have a really active mind, and you, that comes with a lot of intelligence, but sometimes I think you guys just struggle with where to put it, because it can be in many different things. But just like, you know, doing something that you're truly passionate about, so that that energy can be released into something that you enjoy doing, so you feel more fulfilled with whatever it is. Maybe you guys feel like there's something with your job that maybe you're not being recognized for the things that you do. I see that maybe in the future, or 3 weeks, 3 months, or communication will be coming in that you will be recognized and rewarded for something. And for some of you, it could be, you know, something to do with finances and stability. For some of you guys, you know, that this success is coming in, but along with that is going to come clarity, or, you know, saying things out loud, or just receiving that information. Maybe you feel like what you're waiting for hasn't came in, or you haven't been recognized for something, but I feel like you will be. It's just kind of in a certain amount of timing, you know. Maybe certain things have to be put in order before this could come out the way that you'd want it to. Says correct your mistakes. So tune out distractions came out in reverse, address your addictions in reverse, and be patient. So for some of you guys, you are really distracted mentally, whatever that may look like for you. It's important to be patient. It's, you know, like this little thing reminds me of like, you know, those certificate of completion, or some kind of like award that you get that's in a frame. I feel like you guys are going to be getting that for something, and you maybe you don't see that coming, or maybe you need to be aware that that's coming. So like if you feel like all this work and time and energy isn't being recognized, that it definitely will be. But don't let your mind, you know, take over, and maybe like have a little bit more faith, and like change how you think about things, and trust in the universe a little bit more, because there's things coming in that you're not able to see, and that no matter what comes your way, you'll be able to handle it. Scorpio, you had intuition, awareness, memories of love, and accelerated motion. So I think that there's something coming. Maybe it's emotional, maybe it's downloads for some of you guys, just because, you know, I don't think that ever stops for Scorpio. We're just like constantly just, if you're tuned in, you're tuned in. If you know what I'm talking about or don't, you know, I'm not like hyping myself up overly. I'm just saying, like, we get a lot of things coming in sometimes. I think that there again, with those emotions that are maybe complacent, whether it's from something from the past or something currently, it's actually, you know, bringing those to the surface and dealing with them. Some of you guys definitely do need to either drink more water or be around water. You know, not let your mind kind of put you in a place where you're constantly conflicted, you know, keeping things to yourself, dealing with this heartache and loss, trying to find a balance with this loss that you're dealing with, just because it can really do a lot, like damage mentally to your mental health and mental just in general, you know, not letting fear or insecurities or like your own, just like let your brain play tricks on you. Basically, it's just kind of staying in a meditative state, you know, gaining more information about things, you know, allowing new things to come in, and releasing the old, because I think that there's new things here, but there's also a need to balance out. I don't think that Scorpio ever really gets over a lot of things that we go through, because it makes us who we are, and whether it makes us too deep or emotional for people. But we live in this constant state of like, there's a lot of pain, but there's a lot of power at the same time. So we're like a walking contradiction. Like, a lot of people think that I'm sad or mad, but it's just really like a lot of intensity. Like, it's really hard to explain unless you know what I'm talking about. But I think that it's just allowing certain things to be as they are and accepting, but also releasing, so that you can make it through whatever. It says, shine your light, choose friends wisely, and become a clear channel. For me, obviously, it's channeling things. It's letting the world see the parts of me that I don't normally show, you know, listening to my intuition, because I think that there's some changes going on. Sagittarius, you had patience come out. I think that there is some kind of blockage in a routine for some of you guys. Something to do with your root chakra, or just like your overall sense of stability or groundedness when it comes to something. Some of you guys could even just have like back problems, like at the base of your spine. Look up the medical meaning of the Temperance card, which is your card for Sagittarius, and look into the medical things. Some of you guys would be really interested, or maybe it's something that you're going through currently. So I think that there's a situation for some of you guys where there was something that happened where maybe you feel like you lost a friend, you lost a connection, maybe communication with something, but there's a need for you to kind of embrace what you still have around you, while at the same time standing your ground, but just understanding that for you guys, your material and spiritual prosperity looks different to you and other people, and maybe a lot of people don't understand your calling, or like just everything that you've had to go through to get to where you are. Maybe some of you guys are dealing with people who like are really stuck in their ways, and they're not able to see you for who you are, or they're not willing to open up their mind and expand on, you know, why you are the way you are, or to try to actually understand you. Because I feel like maybe some of you guys have withdrawn yourself from a certain situation or people because you feel like no one understands, or maybe you were taken the wrong way, or you just feel like people don't really know you. And so you're kind of at this place where, do I fight or flight, you know, with this person or this situation? And it's kind of creating a blockage for you. It says, do what you love and live your soul, not a role. Let go and enjoy, live life to the fullest. For some of you guys, it's just kind of getting that old spark back, you know, what brings about the passion, like what drives you, and being okay sometimes in things that happen that maybe hurt you and to a certain degree, or created these things in your life, but just finding you again, you know, and communicating that with other people. Aquarius, you have solitude and patience and planning. So maybe it's taking a step out to yourself and creating a plan. Maybe it's updating your planner for those of you who are super organized, or whatever the case may be. Some of you guys feel like maybe there's a situation where you don't know the whole truth, or you feel like you're making a lot of sacrifices where another person isn't. So it's causing you a level of being discontent. Some of you guys are really bored and you like emotionally withdrawing from something, even though like a part of you is still like holding good energy, like holding space. But at the same time, there's a shadow self or a shadow of yours that needs to be kind of dealt with or just understood a little bit better, so that you can make these decisions that will benefit you moving forward, whether it's a partnership or a new beginning or an investment, you know, coming up with a concrete routine for whatever it is that you want to do. Strengthen your gifts and retreat. So basically it's telling you to kind of go into hermit mode and come up with, get those creative juices going. It says do something different. I think that that's the main thing. Is normally you would have had a 10-year plan, but this is causing you to have to look at things a different way or do things in a different way. Capricorn, you have material harvest. So maybe you guys are coming into some money after a period of hardship. Maybe there's some kind of job or success that's coming in for you. There's definitely a decision that needs to be made or has been made so that things can kind of grow and progress. You have solar plexus in reverse. So maybe you guys are just not feeling it. Maybe you're not feeling like yourself. Maybe you're not feeling like, you know, you're able to be kind of happy. You kind of feel like this blah, like complacent energy, even though, you know, you're like always constantly thinking of new things. When it comes to what it is that you're wanting to do, I do feel like there's something you need to move on from, something that makes you kind of takes you out of your element and makes you feel like you're not good enough, or, you know, it kind of messes with your confidence. You know, it could be a shadow part of your personality that's being reflected towards you, but it's also kind of messing with your confidence. And, you know, it's important to listen to your intuition, because there's an awareness that is like here for you, or you're already aware of this, or it's like kind of maybe a spark or an idea. But I do feel like this is kind of like a solo thing for you. It says be of service, focus on success, and love yourself. So I feel like some of you guys, maybe it is helping somebody else, or just understanding maybe that's part of your purpose, is being of service to other people in this lifetime. But also like focusing on the end goal and how you want things to go forward. Maybe you're good at acts of service. Maybe it's your own mind that kind of plays tricks on you. But some of you guys, it's definitely like self-love and, you know, devoting time to yourself. Maybe it's reading, writing, whatever you guys like to do. Pisces, it says suffering in silence and patience. So maybe there's something that you're not talking about. Maybe you feel like you can't. Could be maybe dealing with a boss, or oh, my leg's hurting. Something that you don't feel like you're able to solve or handle. And I think that, you know, with the Solitude card, she's reading a book. Maybe it's doing research or writing, or taking some time out to yourself to kind of gain more knowledge or come up with a solution. Maybe it's something to do, something legal, or something that, you know, it's changing your own way of thinking and not being so rigid in how things can go. Or maybe this is someone that you're dealing with, someone you live with, or, you know, where your sense of security comes from, something along that line. It says strengthen your gifts, retreat, and build on solid ground. So for some of you guys, it says do what you love. So maybe it is a change in a job, change of scenery, switching it up a little bit, moving and shaking in a different way. I think that there's something you're just not happy with, and I think that it's time to figure out what is going to make you happy again, and making that decision to move towards what makes you feel secure and confident in this situation. So anyways, I hope you guys are doing well. I'll be back soon with another video. Thanks for sticking with me, everybody who has, and Have a good night.